What's up guys, welcome to another video. This is Charlie Lin. Alright, again it's been ages since my last video was posted. So what took me so long? It was because, as usual, I was busy in handling the business and orders with the ASIC miners. And another reason was because I went to Singapore and Dubai to attend the two major ASIC miner events. I know I've been delaying making new videos. However, I hope the flip side is that procrastination gives rise to creativity. I hope with every day that I procrastinated, I generate more ideas because I meet more people to understand more about mining and what's going on with the market. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to share with you my takeaways from these two major ASIC miner events. And if we're having time, I'm going to give you some ASIC miner updates as usual. Okay, before we talk about anything substantial today, we have to take a look at the market. Today is a really important day because the Bitcoin again is crashing. This morning, a client of mine from America sends me a text message saying, "Hey Charlie, here comes BTC again. I would like to do a little bit of reverse engineering in saying, this is not BTC, this is blood to continue." Okay, let's talk about the two ASIC miner events that I attended. The first event is called WDMS Singapore, which was short for World Digital Mining Summit organized by the Bitmain company. To talk about the WDMS Singapore, I would like to talk about its tickets, its goals, its comparison with the last WDMS held in Mexico. And lastly, I would like to talk about its great social networking benefit. First of all, let me talk to you about the tickets. I was really shocked to find out all the tickets were sold out as soon as I got this visa for Singapore. I was really disappointed. And the Bitmain salespeople told me this event is based on one-way invitation. That means only the existing VIP clients of the Bitmain company are eligible to purchasing the tickets to come to this place. So you might be wondering, hey Charlie, how did you get into the venue eventually? Fortunately, I got into the event because of the help of another VIP client. I attended the summit as a media representative. But I hope in the future the Bitmain company is going to give me an invitation anyways without having to give me any additional benefits like coupons. Because all I'm interested in is just to find out if the Bitmain company has launched anything new or interesting to the mining community. Anyway, this summit has set some limitations. However, there are also some benefits because of that. The result is only the high-quality players are eligible to attend in this summit. I have to admit, there are many people that I could never meet if I don't go to this summit. It's possible that you can meet some of the people behind the major mining companies or major miner distributors. In Chinese, we say invisible big shots. Okay, after talking about its tickets, let me talk about its goals. I would like to describe the purpose of this summit as a full-fledged Bitmain high-class Black Friday or a promotion party. It was only later that I realized that most of the people that came to this event, not because they think that they're going to get some new perspectives from mining or they could find out anything new with the Bitmain company, because they're already very familiar with mining and the Bitmain company. So what do they come here for? They come here for coupons, because every VIP client that paid $1,000 to come to this event will be eligible of getting $100,000 worth of coupons. The cost of the coupons outside the summit could be 30% of the face value. Because in the market, it's possible that you only have to pay like 10% to 30% to acquire these coupons. Anyway, it's a great deal for these VIP clients to come to this event. In addition to this coupon that is accessible to every VIP client of the Bitmain company, some lucky ducks attending the summit even got more coupons, like $100,000 or $200,000, because later in the summit, there was a lucky draw session. There was a lot of hype with that, and we know Bitmain has a lot of money. Again, there was also an auction for the E9 Pros. I believe there was like one or two companies that got the final price of $4,000 for these E9 Pros. So you may say, oh, $4,000 for the E9 Pros, that is really expensive. But I believe the final cost of these E9 Pros could be just $2,800 because they can use coupons, right? However, if you explore the market a little bit today, you would find out the cost of these E9 Pros is almost similar to $2,800 or even less than that. I don't know if the guys that got that deal for thousands of E9 Pros will regret their decision or not. Okay, enough with talking about how much fancy the promotion party was. I would like to take this opportunity to explain to you once again or one step further about how Bitmain company works. The Bitmain company has a variety of promotion programs, including the coupons for their VIP clients. Instead of selling individual miners to individuals all over the world, they would like to get the distributors or the big miners all around the world to shoulder the risk with them. Some of the methods include asking you to pay a big deposit to the Bitmain account, or just like this, issuing some coupons. In this light, we can also find out why sometimes the distributors or the resellers are able to resell the ASIC miners at a much better price than the Bitmain company, because they can get discounts of many different sources to make the price cheaper. Well, of course, we have to admit, sometimes they also are reselling the miners at a loss. But I believe in the majority of the cases, they get the price better than the retail price. Okay, after talking about the goals of the summit, let me compare this summit with the previous one, the WDMS Mexico. I remember I met with a very interesting gentleman as well as a miner in the WDMS Singapore. This guy also attended the WDMS in Mexico, but he said the summit in Mexico was like a funeral because it was exactly during the days when the WDMS Mexico was held, the infamous FTX scandal occurred, and the Bitcoin crashed to something like 15K or 16K. This time around in Singapore, the vibe in the air is different. If he's right, I'd like to say the WDMS Singapore, if it's not a wedding, at least it's an engagement party. However, today the Bitcoin in the market is looking ugly again. Maybe we need another engagement party. Another difference of the WDMS Singapore with the previous one is that the Singaporean event is more regional than global. Because Singapore is so close to China, we had so many Chinese attendees in the summit. And even the entire summit was organized in the language of Mandarin Chinese. The international attendees at the summit would have to understand the forum speakers using the help of interpretation devices. Okay, the last thing I would like to talk about the WDMS Singapore is its great social networking benefit. For someone like me, a crypto mining YouTuber as well as a ASIC miners vendor, this is one of my favorites because this summit is almost exclusively mining related. And by attending this summit, I realized that China remains perhaps the largest player in mining, or at least with the mining hardware distribution. In the summit, I could pretty much talk to everyone that I want, including the Bitmain salespeople and their top managers. I can talk to big miners from both China or Europe. I can talk to hosting providers. And most of the people that attended the summit are business owners or like decision makers. This is a really unique experience for me as a crypto mining YouTuber because I can get to know what the biggest miners think like and what that means for my YouTube followers. Okay, that's pretty much about the first event that I attended in Singapore. The second event I attended was held in Dubai. It's called Blockchain Live 2023. To talk about the Blockchain Live 2023, I would like to talk about its organization, its attendees, its pros and cons, and lastly, what's trending in the show. Okay, let's first start off with talking about its organization and its attendees. The Blockchain Live 2023 seems to be organized by a Russian company. And I don't know if that is the main reason, but the majority of both the exhibitors and visitors at the show are from Russia. They're primarily miners, mining farm owners, hosting providers, ASIC miner distributors, companies that do blockchain, NFTs, tokens, whatsoever. Okay, let me give you my opinion on the pros and cons of this event. One of the major pros in attending this event is that if you're interested in mining in Russia, in places like Siberia, this is the right place. Or if you're interested to develop or explore the Russian market for mining. Ever since the COVID and the Ukrainian war, I believe there's never a better moment to meet and shake hands with the miners from Russia and to learn about mining from the greatest miners in the world. Another major pro about this event is geographical. The location of this event is in Dubai. It is so close to Europe, and most of the European customers or miners are not able to come to China easily. So Dubai has become this amazing midpoint for the European miners and the Chinese companies. Even for myself, I got to meet perhaps the first mining client that I ever had in my life. He's from Europe. And we got to know each other since 2017. But it was only with this opportunity, with the Blockchain Live event, that we finally got to meet each other. Okay, enough with talking about the pros of this event. Let me cover the cons. The first con is that although the name of the event is Blockchain Live 2023, it doesn't carry a regional tag. It's supposed to be a global event, but I don't think it's global enough. As I mentioned, the majority of the attendees in the event are from Russia. Because most of the non-Russians at the show could not speak Russian language, it was really difficult to communicate with the Russian miners. And it's a great pity. And I did expect the show to attract also a lot of miners and companies from European Union and the United States. I do hope the organizers of the Blockchain Live event is going to do a better job in terms of globalization. Okay, so with that said, it's not globally enough. The second con of this event is it's not regional enough. We were in Dubai. I was expecting more visitors and companies locally in the Middle East. But that was not the case. I was looking for people wearing dasha. I was looking to practice a little bit of Arabic. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. But I met just a very, very few local miners and companies over there. I don't want to sound super stereotypical, but I do believe the Middle Eastern market is a great market for mining because I do believe the local investors and the people who control the oil in the Middle East, and especially the royal family who are looking forward to multiplying their wealth, are definitely the best people for mining. And I also heard that in the Middle Eastern market, they have agricultural electricity that is really, really cheap, that is cheaper than industrial electricity. Although I did hear that the agriculture power may not be sustainable because it falls under a gray area. Okay, the last complaint made about this show is reflected from one of the interesting miners I meet from Europe. Because he also attended the summit in Singapore, it's easy to tell most of the people that attended the WDMS Singapore were legit. But in this show, in Dubai, Blockchain Live 2023, you would have to do your due diligence really carefully. Because according to him, even the organizers of this event said we have to carry out our due diligence really well. Okay, the last subject I would like to cover about the Blockchain Live 2023 is what's trending in this show. So what's trending? I believe it's hydrocooling. Most of the exhibitors at the show were just talking about how cheap and how fast they can deliver the miners, how cheap electricity they can provide for the hosting, and how safe their hosting is. But that's kind of boring and cutthroat competition. So in the show, we also saw some companies that did something different, and that's hydrocooling. And that really set them apart. So why hydrocooling looks trendy, and what makes it interesting? I believe what makes it interesting is because of a very harsh fact. The harsh fact that mining is hardly profitable. We need some external help, like hydrocooling or immersion cooling. Okay, so why not immersion cooling, but hydrocooling? For many months, I've been exploring which is better, immersion cooling or hydrocooling. But after talking with people in both Singapore and Dubai, I have made the conclusion that the market and the majority of the people believe hydrocooling is more reliable. It is cheaper, it is easier to deploy and redeploy, and it's also easier to resell. Because with immersion cooling, you would always have to deal with the oil, and the oil is not cheap and it's not easy to manage. I hope in the next few weeks or months, I can cover more solutions about hydrocooling. Stay tuned. Okay, that's pretty much about my takeaways and reviews on both of these shows, the WDMS Singapore and Blockchain Live Dubai. Did you also go to one of the shows or both of the shows? Please give me your opinions or reviews about the shows in the comment section. Okay, I don't think I'm confident enough in keeping your attention and continuing watching the video because I want to do the ASIC Miner updates as usual. Anyway, I hope to do that in my next video. Thank you.